Hey guys, I know that it's late, and sorry, I wish I had a better thumbnail, but I don't. And it's late, and I don't have a camera on. So I'm just going to make my piece known without putting a thumbnail or a camera, so those who want to hear can hear, and those who don't care to hear because they got to see somebody, they can forget it. But I wanted to talk about, because this came on my spirit, and I think about my sons, and I think about my family when I talk about the disposition of government within your life. I want you to learn three things. And I want to tell you three things I want you to consider. And these are the three things I want you to consider. Before the end of this year, I want you to learn how to play chess. I want you to learn how to play Monopoly. And I want you to learn how to play backgammon. Now listen to the sound of my voice, even though you can't see a thing. I want you to get quiet in your mind. And I want you to think about these things. Because sometimes we think that everything we do has to be visual or physical. But sometimes it's about strategy and the disposition of government and what they do to you and what they've done in our lives. Because that is what we're dealing with right now, especially within the black community. The disposition of government and how other people have been given a position of power through leverage and opportunities of government imposed programs and products and foreign aid, which is unconstitutional, by the way. But I'll do another video in the future about that. But I want to teach you three things: how to play chess, how to play backgammon, and how to play um, chess, backgammon. What was the other one I said? It'll come to me. But let's start off with chess. Do you notice that when you play chess, for those who know how to play, when you play chess, each piece does something different. You have your pawn, your rook, your knight, your queen, your king, right? But you have to understand the king only has one move. The most powerful piece on that chess board is the queen and your knights. When it comes to the rook, when it comes to the bishops, they have to be moved in a strategized way. And then your pawns, you know those pawns. We're talking about the disposition of government, how to play chess, and how it affects your lives. When it comes to the pawns on the chessboard, listen to where I'm going with this, are easily in the first couple minutes taken out. Where do you place yourself in life when it comes to playing chess? What piece are you on that board? Because if you don't plan your life, listen to me, someone's going to plan it for you. Someone's going to set life up where you have been dispositioned. You're being dispositioned right now in government. You're being dispositioned right now through local communities, through opportunities, through jobs, through so many things that you have no control over. But yet we say nothing. We have no point of leverage. We have no point of execution of a plan of action because we're not prepped for it and we don't know where we are on this board of life. So I say, if you don't know how to play chess, learn it. Because once you learn that the game that you play is not like checkers, where that same piece does the same thing, you just move it differently. Oh, Monopoly, that was the other one. Chess, backgammon, and Monopoly. Thank you, Jesus. Anyway, so going back to playing chess. What are you on that board? I know I'm in the dark. I don't feel like turning lights on. I don't think it makes a difference. I'm in the dark. Yes, I am in the dark. But I want you to just listen to what I'm having to say. So anybody who watches this video will be based on them listening to the message, not looking at the messenger. If you care about seeing me in the dark and it bothers you, then this video is not for you. But if you can be patient, and I want you to listen to the message that I'm conveying to you. So, again, when we talk about, oh, I know I should do podcasts, I was told that. Maybe in the future. Chess. What point are you on the board? What piece do you play on the board? Because many of us don't realize we're getting played right now, my people. We are being dispositioned right now. And we continue to talk about each other. What is any of that going to get us? So I want to encourage you, I want to give you words of inspiration to have a strategy in your own personal life. Don't let the circumstances of the world or of your job or of your family confuse you on your vision of what you need to do for you. Okay? And part of that is understanding how to play certain games. Nursery rhymes were always things that I always thought about. Chicken Little, the sky is falling. Excuse me, the sky is falling. Always frustrated. We always know one of them people. Or the little red hen. She prepared this bread. Nobody wanted to help her. And in the end, she made it happen. And now everybody wanted a piece of that pie. Sometimes some of y'all need to read some nursery rhymes instead of watch all this damn reality shit on TV. All these people acting like they got it going on. You know, all these people that always talk and beat each other up, beat the black man down, beat the black woman down. Sometimes you need to have your point of view. But I want to go back to strategy because that's what I'm teaching in this video. Now, for those who keep chiming in and saying, "Show you in the dark." Yes, I know I'm in the dark because this message is for people who are not going to worry about seeing me, but that want to learn something. So I said to you earlier, 3 points. Strategy. What games should you learn? Chess, backgammon, and Monopoly. I'm talking about chess right now. Do you notice that on that chessboard, listen to what I'm saying to you, that the king has one move? That's it. He moves one time. The queen can go anywhere. Okay? The knight can go up and down and across. The bishop can go direct. And then the rook, he has this thing where he can go like an L. And the pawns, they just go straight. They move forward. And sometimes a pawn could take a king out and go checkmate. So if you don't know chess, chess can help you and position yourself and how you make moves in your life. You may not say, "Shirley, I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to convey that. There's certain things I don't know how to do." But if you learn how to strategize, you may not have the verbal abilities to execute your thought, but you've learned the game of how to do it. So eventually, a game player will be well respected. Monopoly. Why should you learn Monopoly? Because Monopoly is not just about owning everything on the board. It's working with what you have. I would always pretty much be everybody in the house playing Monopoly. It drove my kids nuts to the point they were gang up on me. "Okay, we're just going to buy up everything on the board." They didn't realize the strategy of Monopoly is not just buying up stuff on the board. It's working with what you have. Write that down. Working with what you have. Remember, we're talking about disposition of government and how do we reposition you. It's not about looking at me and seeing me right now. I just want you to think this through. So when it comes to Monopoly, now, and this talks about ADOS too, because ADOS has no strategy. Everybody's all fighting each other. I think that we need to have a strategy of legislation to deal with the past pains of life. But if you don't know how to play Monopoly and backgammon and how to play chess, I can't get you to that next level. Many of you guys will never get to the next level. You just ain't gonna never get there. It ain't even worth talking to you. You ain't never gonna get to that level. You're not worthy of it because you've not vested yourself to know the game. If you don't plan your life, someone's planning it out for you. If you don't think that and how to execute that, you're gonna miss the point. Let's go back to Monopoly. When you are playing Monopoly, it really isn't about buying every piece on that board. It's being able to buy the colors. You might say, "You know what? If you play Monopoly, the first lags of the points that you land on are purple. Those are the cheapest properties. You go around that board, you're going to hit that green, you're going to hit that yellow, you're going to hit that red, and you get all the way down to that boardwalk, which everybody wants. But you know what? You can have all those pieces, and they're all strategies all over the place. But you want to own the pieces that are close together so that you're allotted to build hotels. You're allotted to build properties on there, right? You're allowed to do that. And when you do buy properties on Monopoly, just listen where I'm going with this. I want you to understand this has to affect your life, that you're able to build on it. So everybody, every time in life, have to go past go. Every year, we live in, we're in what, November? Next year, there'll be another November. Next year, there'll be another November. What are you strategizing towards? We're towards the end of this first quarter that you can look back at your life and say, what on this board did I accomplish? Did I buy any pieces of this board? That doesn't talk about real estate. I'm talking about in your life, where you can look and say, what of my accomplishment did I build upon? If that was just speaking better, if it was having a better relationship, and from that relationship, this evolved from it. When it comes to the African American descendants of slaves, let me tell you what has happened with us. We are having a conversation. And I am so elated for that. Can we do it better? Absolutely. Are we all on the same page? Absolutely not. Do we beat each other up? Absolutely yes. Is it getting old? Absolutely yes. But are we repositioning ourselves as a voice on the table in a nationalist American community? Absolutely. When you've got the Washington Times, otherwise the New York Times going after Yvette Cornell, that says something. That a YouTuber, you're going after a YouTuber. When the YouTuber's voice, when the conscious thinking black people are being noted and being recognized, that says a lot. Hey, shout out to all you guys. I appreciate you coming in. Lockborough and Abraham and Groove Vine, Old Schools. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. But when you're talking about the ADOS sitting down with the president, it ain't about sitting down with the president. We need to have a point of a plan of action, of execution. But if everyone hates this administration and say, don't vote for Trump or don't vote for whoever, you ain't going to be able to write that check. They can. And unless you convey to them why you deserve that check, and you write it out and you put up pieces of legislation talking about a disposition of government and how to strategize, that's why I'm telling you, in order to do this game right, many of us have to learn chess because they're not game players. Going back to Monopoly, you have to say, let's say, okay, Yvette is in the purple section. Dr. Watkins is in, go with me on this one, the orange section. Tariq is in the green section. But they're all hopping on each other's sections and getting hit and fired at each other. If they all can say, you know what, we all contribute to this board. And I'm going to stay in my green section, you stay in your purple section, but we all want to get through this board so that we all can earn Park Place and get something out of it. I think that we can move forward. But when we sit back and we beat each other up and we disposition each other, that does not move us forward. If anything, it looks disjointed, and it's not a good thing. Backgammon. Backgammon was always one of my favorite games to play because in playing backgammon, which I haven't played in a while, you learn certain roles of how to position. You know, I used to love when I hit 3-5. For those who play it, then you'll get this. If you don't play it, you don't get this. But let's say if you know how to play backgammon, 3-5, you know how to put your pieces down. The objection of backgammon, for those who not played it, is to pretty much get all your pieces from one side all the way around. And once you get it all the way around, you want to fill up all the spaces so that you would literally cripple your opponent, almost like what I'm talking about. You know how paralyze. You paralyze. I like that word. Go with me on this. You paralyze your opponent so that that opponent cannot do anything, and you're leveraging and you're winning. You're playing to the point at the end. You've put all your pieces and you've blocked them where they can't get in. That is what immigration has done to the black community. It has paralyzed us because we've allowed these people in our community, and government and local administrators have positioned them through EB-5 and visas and grants and green cards and foreign aid to leverage against a nation of people. Now, I'm different than a lot of black people. I believe in America first. And I support America first, but I also am a black first. So I believe in American nationalist leader. I believe the person who leads this country needs to put us first as a person. And I know black people will say, well, all he cares about is white people. And I say to black people, the problem with you is you think this is a black country. It's not. It never was built or made for you. You were brought here as commodity. And your placement is still in a commodity mode through goods, trades, and service, through privatized prisons and everything else. So now that you know your place, Negro, what should you got out of this and what can you leverage? When you play Monopoly, there's a point of the game where you can say to someone, I like to buy that. What do you want? You can buy a position where you have all the purples except for that one piece. And you need it. And so you put the money on the table on Monopoly. And then you're able to buy up, and now you own all the purple. And now you're able to build apartments. Once you build apartments, you're able to put hotels on them. And every time someone lands on your piece, you are able to get money, and guess what? You're able to disposition that person from having that money that they're able to gather, and then you're able to leverage up financially. So backgammon, like I told you, paralyzes you. Monopoly repositions you on how you play the game so that you can leverage up. Chess teaches you every move is different with the piece that's before you, but yet it works congruently the same. That is life. Now you may say, Shirley, this is a little deep. I don't get it. It's all right. Rewatch this video. Stop, take notes, and calculate what I'm saying. Even watch videos on how to play Monopoly, how to play backgammon, and how to play most of all chess. I would say chess should be number one. And the interesting about chess is that the woman, we look at queen as women, right? So let's put that metaphor together. The queen has the most power to make a decision and has to be protected by all the other losers around her, who eventually know that they will die off, because our objective is to protect that king. The king is the subject matter. It doesn't have to be a male. It could be a male. It could be the president. It could be you. But it could be the subject matter. If the king is ADOS, and our jobs is to identify where's our point of value on this table, how do we protect the king to be noted as the king on the table? I don't have the answer for that. That's where we all come in. To realize that ADOS is the king on the chessboard, and that each one of us have to work together as a unit in doing something different to empower that king, so that other pieces on the other side will stop dispositioning us. When it comes to Monopoly, it's leverage. How do we get us to understand that each one of us have something on this Monopoly board? Like I said earlier, you talk about the purple section could be the ADOS with Yvette. We could talk about My Black World could be all the yellow sections. And then all the red sections could be Tariq. Or, everyone's got something different on this board. How do we look at these people who keep crossing over each other and talking bad about each other, or supporting each other, or saying, I'm going to say it my own way, to realize this is about lineage. This is not about African American descendants of slaves. This is about African American descendants of slaves who are the lineage rights to America because of their ancestors' contribution to this country. And yet until we, listen to what I'm saying, don't be disjointed. Don't worry about the fact you can't see me. That's irrelevant. What is irrelevant is that you listen to this message and you take heed to what I'm saying. Until we understand that we're dispositioned by government and we have a clear 30-second elevator pitch to whoever is in power to get that, we don't come together. We're ranting about, I want a check, I want rights, black people this, da-da-da-da. You need to understand this ain't nothing but money, numbers, and power. Write that down. 3 things. Money, numbers, and power. And until you understand that you're being leveraged against, that foreign aid comes priority over descendants of slaves based on lineage. And another thing that you don't hear people saying, I want you to recognize this, write this down. You are a child of the colonist. That's a thumbs up. I'm sorry, put that up. Because anyone that is a descendant of slaves have colonist blood in them. That means you got white people inside of your ass. What percentage, we don't know. Some of us do, some of us don't. I do, I've done my DNA. If you believe in DNA or not, that's irrelevant. What is relevant is you understand that if you can trace back that your ancestors go back to 1619, when the War Dutchmen brought 20 Africans here as commoditized goods, trades, and service, I want you to understand that right of that colonist blood that's in you, you need to play that card. Play the colonist card. Play the descendants of slaves card, but play the colonist card, because they don't want to accept you, remember? They want to throw you in the category of Chinese and Mexicans and the blacks, the Chinese, the women. I get tired of being thrown in them categories. I'm not of those people. I'm not of those diaspora. My people came way before those people. My people came here before Ellis Island. All the people who came here, I came here, my people came from the Statue of Liberty, and we way before those people. So be conscious that when people are quick to tell you their historical reference of point of who they are and why they're here, at least know this much. Come back with saying, I am a child of the colonists and a descendant of slaves. I know that my ancestors go back to 1810, when the war Dutchmen brought 20 Africans here as commoditized good trades and service. I am not illegal immigrant or an immigrant. I am a descendant of slave. And step back. Don't argue with people, and understand this is about a position of power on your chessboard of your life. Then you move to the latitude of understanding the board of Monopoly. Now, this ain't nothing but a game, and everybody wants to have a higher stake on the Monopoly board. Because every time we go around, there's a November next time, 2020, that we're going to have an election. Then there'll be a November 2021, then 2024, where this Monopoly board of politics will come up again. The question is, where will you be in your personal life? Not based on what they are telling you, but based on your contribution of what you want out of this. And once you're able to conquer that issue, all this other stuff is irrelevant. Watching these people fight online, call each other names, bitches and hoes, and I got it, and you disrespecting the elders and all that stuff. I go, woo, there's a lot going on. I want to encourage you to not be distracted. Write that word down, and please give me some thumbs up. I appreciate you guys watching, but if you could just take the time to just hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe and share this video, it means a lot to me. I don't do YouTube videos that often because I'm in a place right now. Next year, I told myself I'm going to work on myself physically, mentally, and spiritually, and financially. Because you put so much energy into this and people still don't value it, I have to take care of Shirley and value Shirley. And I'm going to always be here, and Urban Game Changers has some great things coming up, which I will share with you later on in the future. But right now, I'm having a conversation with those who want to better themselves. Those who say, there's some things I'm not understanding, and it's not clear to me. And a lot of that clarity comes when you play games. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. It also comes when you learn nursery rhymes. I told you, the little chicken, the sky is falling. Oh, the sky is falling. Them kind of people that be working your nerves, thinking everything, working your nerves, thinking that everything is falling apart when it isn't. You know, the emperor with no clothes. People coming to him, lying to him, telling he's all fabulous. There's always those kind of people. You all that. You just fabulous. All they want is what they can get out of you. What they can get out of you. Sometimes you guys, there was I don't know if this was the name of it, was called the Pearl. And this guy wanted the pearl, right? So he had to leverage. He had to do certain things. Like, he says, I really want this pearl. He says, well, I can't give you the money, but if you go get me some milk, I can give you some hay. And he says, what do I do with this hay? He says, go talk to Mr. Farmer. And Mr. Farmer says, well, I'll take your hay, but you have to go get me this. So he had to go all the way down. At the end of the game, end of the nursery rhyme, you learn that he leveraged. If he helped this person and helped this person, who this person got him this person, he got everybody what he wanted. And at the end, the person gave him the money to be able to get that pearl that he wanted. That's what you need to think about in your own life. How do I reposition myself? And am I with people, write this down, that are dispositioning me? Because people will disposition you. Life will disposition you. Lockburn says, I'm 100% against illegal immigration of all types. I think they should, I think it should be ending, and we can't even end illegal immigration. Well, we can't. And the reason why is because of the disposition of government. That government has bad immigration laws. But unless we sit back and create better laws, it's not going to happen. But black people and all ethnic colored people are not demanding for better leaders. And right now we're focusing on attacking the president, and we're focusing on positioning our families, meaning our leaders in this country. We have to stop them and bring them back to understand that your job is to work for us. And your job is to work in creating better legislation to better a nation of people. So I'm going to end on that note. I thank you guys so much. Please get the thumbs up. Hopefully what I share with you, again, we're talking about a disposition of government, and within our life, and learning how to deal with that are the small steps that you should learn as a child that you may not learn. And that's why you play these games, so that the game of life is congruent to the reality of who you are. As I stated at the beginning of this video, chess, Monopoly, and backgammon. Learn those 3 games, my brothers and sisters. Learn them, because when you learn them, you will be better positioned. God bless you. Keep involved and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.